Building buildings is an amazing thing. You take something that's on a piece of paper and you build it, and then you see it take form and take shape, and at the end, you see people working or living in these buildings that you've built. But it goes beyond that because you're trying to create a community. One building doesn't create a community, multiple buildings and streets and everything around a building is part of the community. So I always feel challenged to do better because to have an amazing community, you have to have an amazing environment.
Danny has a lot of passion. He loves his work. He loves volunteering. He loves sitting on boards. He loves being on committees. He loves giving advice. And he really loves people. He goes out of his way to stop and talk to everyone he sees. He's involved in every aspect of community. And it all comes from his passion. He enjoys every bit of it.
They say it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it takes people like Danny Chedrawe to build a center of excellence like the QEII, and specifically heart health at the QEII. He stayed with us for 6 years on the board, and then he has been an honorary trustee now for 7 years. I mean, if you literally said, list the 5 people who are changing the face of our city, and I think in our province, Danny Chedrawe would be one of those people. He does his business in our community, and he has a passion for this place, for the people, the culture, for our prosperity. Every community needs a Danny Chedrawe.
When I think of a champion, I think of not just somebody who's succeeded, but somebody who leads. And Danny does that. He's a real champion, and he does it with class.
I wasn't worried about Danny until he started showing up at home early from work. When Danny is early, you know there's something wrong.
When you're building a building, you're climbing a lot of stairs. You don't put the elevator in first. In fact, the elevator is one of the last things to get put in. So I would go up a flight of stairs and I would lose my breath. I couldn't continue. But I would never say I'm out of breath. I would tell the guys, just hold on, let's stop on this floor and check something out. But really, I'm trying to catch my breath. So it was time to go see a doctor and talk about that situation. And then it led to a diagnosis of narrowing of the arteries. They decided to put a stent in. Growing up, my dad had congestive heart failure. He died at the age of 62. He was diagnosed at the age of 50. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. I was quite nervous and a lot of anxiety. Anxiety because thinking about my dad.
Heart health is the one thing that Danny is always very afraid of, and it's something that he knew he would have to face one day because it ran in his family on his father's side. So he was always really nervous about it, but it's ironic that it's the one thing that on the board he ended up working on and ultimately benefited from.
For me as a patient that day, being in a cath lab that was newly renovated with the latest technology, I benefited from that personally, and I benefited from a warm blanket being placed over me. And I was pretty happy when I came out of there.
So that night when we came home and he had ice cream, it was a happy day. I didn't know he would feel better that fast.
I've seen it from both sides. So I've had the opportunity to see how it works on the, fundraising side and being a patient. Healthcare is an important piece of a good society. If you don't have good healthcare, you don't have a good society, a good community. They're linked. You contribute not only through giving money, but you contribute through volunteering your time. You contribute by giving your talents.
I've known Danny for a long time, and he's an amazing person, very passionate, no matter what he does. My sincere congratulations to him.
Congratulations, Danny.
I think his heart is in this city, and he shows it all the time. He's ticked all the boxes. He has a great family life, supports the community, builds great things. I mean, how much can you ask for? I think he's amazing for the city.
In life, people don't remember what you've taken, they remember what you've given back. And I think Danny's a big giver.
Danny's very generous, and he does that in a quiet way. He has a heart of gold. And he loves to help people.
Well, Danny, congratulations on the Heart of Gold Award. I can't think of anybody who deserves it more than you do. I also got to say, man, you're looking pretty good these days. You know, you've trimmed down, you got your fighting weight. I don't know if you're going into politics or if you're going to be a Chippendale dancer, but whatever you're doing next, good on you. And I'm going to toast you the way I've toasted you before. We don't normally do this at City Hall, Danny, but in your honor, here's to Danny, Heart of Gold, and Rosie too.